What's up guys, Meredith with AmericanTrucks.com, and today we're checking out the Bilstein V8 5160 series rear shock for 0 to 2 inches of lift, fitting all 2015 and newer F-150s without the CCD system and excluding the Raptor models. Now whether you've added a lift to your truck or you've never swapped the suspension and you want some better ride performance to rein in that bouncy bed feel, this is going to be a great choice. Now right up front, I do want to let you know that this will come with one shock in the kit, so keep that in mind if you need to, which you most likely will if you're upgrading your suspension. Nonetheless, this shock will be a great choice for the F-150 owner who's looking for a step up in performance for the rear end of their truck, which can be helpful in a variety of situations, like if you're looking to improve sag or ride quality with load in your bed or when you're towing, or simply want better and more responsive performance for on and off-road driving. One of the big benefits of this shock is the remote reservoir here. Now that's going to provide some extra space for the oil to move that will increase your travel and dissipate heat much faster than a traditional shock, keeping it running smoothly and efficiently for longer periods of time. Another big bonus is the digressive valving system with the large 46mm piston on the inside, which sounds super fancy, but really just means that this will adapt instantly to whatever terrain that you're on. So if you're going from dirt to pavement, back to dirt, it's going to self-adjust the ride to keep your dampening consistent and keep you comfortable. This will also come with a 360-degree swivel banjo hose fitting to allow you to mount the reservoir upside down on the shock body. That's going to allow optimal oil flow, keeping this braided line here straight, and it's going to keep this flush to the shock, so this line's not going to be poking out for a more low-profile design. The shock and the reservoir will have a zinc-plated steel construction with a monotube nitrogen gas charge design, being very durable on the inside and out to handle whatever abuse they may come across. The gas will also make the shock a little bit stiffer, which gives it that responsiveness. It fixes the sag and the bounciness that you may feel and is going to reduce body roll on the street, keeping you more secure. Now the monotube and the gas design will also reduce shock fade over time because it doesn't allow the oil and the air to mix, causing any aeration, which will usually cause that squishy feeling, which is what gives you those worn shock characteristics. So if you're fighting that right now, this is going to be a big upgrade and resist that over time, no matter how hard you work the shocks. The shock will also come with new rubber bushings for a longer lifespan. The factory ones get brittle over time. This will kind of give you a little bit of a refresh, and it will also come with a billet mount. This will have a black powder coat on top to resist any corrosion here. The Bilstein logo right on the front for a little bit of extra styling. And this is what is going to keep the reservoir attached to the mount for that low profile look. This will come in at about $325 per shock, so it is a little bit more expensive considering that you will have to get a set coming in at around $650. What I will say is that it is a big step up from the entry-level choices and will offer better longevity and performance with the reservoir, monotube build, and adaptive valving tuned specifically for the F-150, so you are getting what you pay for. Now, one thing this doesn't have is adjustability, which is where you start to get into that higher price range. So I think if you don't necessarily need a race application shock, which most of the time you don't, but you do want a higher performing set to complement the rest of your F-150 suspension, this shock is going to do it, and F-150 owners love this series shock, and you can see that from the almost 5-star reviews. Install will be a 2 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter and take you about an hour to get the job done. But again, keep in mind you are going to be probably doing both sides, so I would roughly double that. Now at this point, we can head over to our shop and check out a detailed breakdown on how to get this onto your F-150 at home. So that's going to wrap it up for my review. Let's go ahead and get into the install.
For this install, you will need an impact, a ratchet, 5mm Allen socket, 15mm socket, 18mm wrench, a pry bar, and also not shown here is a jack and jack stands or a pole jack. What's up guys, today we're going to be doing a rear shock on our F-150, so let's get started. So we've got a pole jack underneath our differential here, and that's going to help support it when we take our shock out, and we're going to remove the bottom mounting bolt first with our 15mm socket on our impact and an 18mm wrench. Make sure that's out of its mounting pocket there. Next, we can remove our upper mounting bolt. Now this one has a flag nut behind it, so you won't need your wrench, just your 15 mil socket on your impact. So you want to support your shock, and then go ahead and run this bolt off. Go ahead and pull that bolt out and remove our shock. So now what we're going to do first is install our mounting bracket for our external reservoir. What we're going to do is come to our 2 Allen bolts here and go ahead and remove those with our 5mm Allen socket on our ratchet. Take those, separate them, and we'll go ahead and place the front part over our reservoir. So now that we've got these separated, we'll go ahead and take our front portion, line that up over our reservoir and our main shock tube. Then we're going to flip this right over, just like so. We want this to line up about the middle here, so we'll move that down a little bit. Then we're going to take our other half of our bracket, line that up with our bolt holes. We'll get these started by hand. You want to make sure you have some slack in your reservoir hose here. And we'll go ahead and tighten these back down again with our 5mm Allen socket on our ratchet. So now we're going to reuse our factory 15mm mounting bolts and go ahead and install our new shock. So we'll start with the top bolt. Get this in place. Slide that through. So now we'll go ahead and loosely install our flag nut on the back side of this. Leave that like that for now. Then we can go ahead and install our bottom mounting bolt. So now we can go ahead and mount the bottom of our shock. Now what we're going to need for this is a pry bar and our factory mounting bolt. So what we're going to do is hook that pry bar into our mounting cradle for our shock and kind of pry up on the bottom of the shock itself in order to compress it enough to get into the mounting point. Then we'll go ahead and reinstall that factory mounting bolt. You want to hold the bottom of the shock with some tension on the bottom of on the top of your pry bar. We're just going to pry up like so. Push forward a little bit. Let that ride on the pry bar. You don't want to take your pry bar out just yet. Go ahead, work that over in order to get our mounting bolt in. Once we get that through, we can go ahead and reinstall our factory 18mm nut. Then we'll go ahead and tighten that back down again with our 15mm socket on our impact and an 18mm wrench. Now we'll tighten our top mounting bolt down again with our 15mm socket on our impact. Again, no need for a wrench because there is a flag nut. So once you've got this process complete for this side, you can go ahead and repeat these same steps for the other side, and always refer to your manufacturer torque spec for all of your hardware. Alrighty guys, that about wraps up our review and install of our Bilstein B8 5160 series rear shock for 0 to 2 inch lift for your 15 to current 4-wheel drive F-150 without CCD system, excluding the Raptor. Thanks for watching, and as always, for everything F-150, keep it right here at AmericanTrucks.com.